Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my review of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. This is the fifth movie in the Indy franchise. I'm being perfectly total honesty. I saw the first three films. I didn't see Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I haven't seen. I think I've seen clips of it, but I haven't watched that movie from beginning to end. And I know a lot of people didn't like that movie a lot, but it is what it is, I guess. And anyway, this is the fifth movie, and again, the first three movies I thought were really good, a nice way, a nice trilogy, but they went ahead and did the fourth movie that, again, a lot of people didn't like. And so, again, I guess they decided to do a fifth installment. And okay, this is, I think, the only one that's not directed by Steven Spielberg. This one is directed by James Mangold, um, who's a good director. Of course, Harrison Ford reprises his role as Indiana Jones. And you have, excuse me, in this movie, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, she plays Helena. I guess she's the co-star in this movie. You got returning of old characters like John Rhys-Davies, Salah character, which I really, because he has such a distinctive voice, John Rhys-Davies, that he just loved to see him, that he's still around. Actually, and then you got Karen Allen in this movie again, as Marion. You got Toby Jones in this. He plays Basil Shaw. Uh, and of course, you have Mads Mikkelsen as Dr. Voller. Of course, I don't know. I'm trying to remember any movie that Mads Mikkelsen's been in that he hasn't played a bad guy. Because he plays bad guys all the time. He's a really good actor. I know he played Hannibal on TV and stuff, but mostly in most movies he's always a bad guy. Anyway, this one uh, is a kind of Indiana Jones. It's kind of a current thing, kind of a current theme where he's contemplating retirement because he's that age, and he seems to, and they say and based on the description that he's kind of he wants to everything hurts, and but of course he gets pulled back out of his getting ready to retire by the daughter of an old friend, and he has to battle these new villains, which is kind of return of an old villain. An old villain that he's faced in past movies, to stop somebody from stealing an ancient artifact. Sounds familiar, right? Anyway, I thought this movie was enjoyable. I know people will say that this movie is better than the fourth movie. Like I said, I haven't seen that movie. I just seen the clips of it. Okay, I don't know. People didn't really like it. This movie I thought was a decent Indiana Jones movie. They didn't have to make this movie, I don't think. But I kind of loved the beginning of this movie. I think the opening sequence in this movie is absolutely really, really enjoyable, and really kind of did remind me of the old Indiana Jones movies. And I won't spoil it, but if you see it, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, and as a movie, this movie is about 2 hours and 34 minutes, which is like way too long. Okay, this movie could have been 2 hours. I think that would have probably been a better use of its time. I think if they had made it, they'd have kind of streamlined it a little bit. I think, and just made it 2 hours. I think 2 hours is more than enough time. I think 2 hours and 34 minutes is not. It's like way too long unless the movie is spectacular. Okay, the movie shouldn't be over 2 hours. Okay, this Indiana Jones movie should have been like 2 hours. I think that would have been a better use of its time if they could have, cut out a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of chase scenes in this movie, which kind of reminds you of old movies and stuff. And I think that's just done intentionally to kind of be a callback to the previous movies and stuff. But again, I think at 2 hours and 34 minutes, this movie is like way too long. Okay, it definitely should have been 2 hours. Okay, they definitely should have cut out some things and like I said, streamlined the movie and stuff. Um, but as a movie, again, Harrison Ford I thought was probably the best part of this movie. Okay, because Harrison Ford just has charisma for days and stuff, and he could probably get away with reading a phone book. He's that charismatic, and when he's on screen, you really enjoy watching him. And again, Mads Mikkelsen as a villain. Okay, is Mads Mikkelsen. He's a good actor. Now, as for Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I know a lot of people are not. A lot of people are gonna, I think, either hate her character or love her character. Okay, I think there's no kind of in between with her character. Okay, to me, I don't know if that's. I don't think it's the actress. I think it's the character, the way she's written. She's written. She's written as kind of overbearing in a lot of spots and stuff. But I didn't mind her character, to be honest, perfectly honest. But I can see why people would think her character is kind of overbearing. And I was reading that this is like a lead to a franchise. I don't think so. Not with her. Not with her character. Not the way the character is written. I don't think so. I don't think there will ever be uh, a movie with her going off on Indiana Jones type adventures. I just don't think that's going to be possible. And there's another character in this movie that they introduced that kind of I think was supposed to be a reminder of the I forgot the character's name in the second movie, the little kid that Indiana Jones was teaming up with in the second movie. There's a kid like that in this movie that seemingly can do everything, uh, like that character. But that character, that character I think was just really annoying. To be perfectly honest, a character named Teddy I think was just really annoying. Okay, not like the charm of that other kid in the second movie who I really really liked. The kid that was driving the car and all that stuff, and he's Indiana Jones's buddy and stuff. I really like that character. Okay, but I think the character in this movie, Teddy, just really annoying. And if it's going to be her and Teddy and Helena in a movie again, I don't think that's going to be possible. I definitely don't think they're going to make any movie with them in it. Okay, I think Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones, and that's it. I know they were talking about in the future before possibly Chris Pratt taking over the part and all that stuff. And I remember, I think River Phoenix, he played when they had young Indiana Jones on TV. I think he played the young Indy on TV, and maybe if unfortunately he passed on, if he'd have lived, and I could maybe possibly they would have made him Indiana Jones maybe after the third movie, okay, to continue on or something, and if they want to continue on, maybe they'll just introduce another character or something. But I think Indiana Jones, specifically the first three movies, was more than enough. They didn't really have to make a fourth or fifth movie, to be perfectly honest, because I think the stories they told in those first three movies was more than enough, and you got to see the best of Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, and I think that was enough. This movie was not necessary, to be perfectly honest. And this, like I said, the fourth one I haven't seen, so I can't really judge that one. I know a lot of people give it crap, saying it's the worst movie in the franchise, so I can't say because I haven't seen it. But this one I definitely think is an okay movie. Again, like I said, I think it's too long. At 2 hours and 34 minutes, I think that's way too long for a movie. This Indiana Jones type movie, I think they could have got away with telling this story in 2 hours. I think that would have been more than enough. 2 hours and 34 minutes is like overkill, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so I would give Indiana Jones, I'll give it a 7 or a C, I guess. If I give it a letter grade, it would be a C. But I would give this a 7. 7 out of 10. It's a decent movie. Like I said, it's just, like I said, way too long. 2 hours and 34 minutes is like way too long. Okay, that's just way too long for an Indiana Jones movie. It should be 2 hours. Okay, 2 hours would have been more than sufficient. Okay, and as far as, again, like I said, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, she's an okay actress. It's just her character is just, I could see how her character could grate on people and stuff, and people not like her character at all. And if she's supposed to carry on to tradition of Indiana Jones, I don't see that happening. I really don't. Okay, but anyway, 7 out of 10 for me. Give it a C, letter grade. Okay. Anyway, let me know what you think of the movie. If you've seen it, what do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. I have links to my social media in the description box: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also have a link to my other channel, Bob Using the Patrons. You check that out as well. Also have a link down below to my Patreon, which is only $5 a month. Tons of content on there, tons of unedited content on there. Everything from Marvel shows to DC shows to sci-fi, Star Wars shows, movies. Follow the link below, $5 a month if you want to support me that way. Also, please give this video a thumbs up. Helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long, and take care.